Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that latest trailer for the new Metroid Prime 4 game. This looks pretty interesting to me. Very neat. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you've had a great week. My week's been very busy with work. At the end of the video, I'll share one of the games that I'm working on. I have two games that I want to have finished very soon, and very much looking forward to sharing that with you. So at the end of the video, let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer. We see quite a bit of stuff that we haven't seen before. I normally take notes and write a script, but I think I'm just going to wing it today. I'm very busy with my own game development. Let's take a look. Something to point out is the music is really fantastic in this. I will put the link in the description to that. Something I just noticed here that I had not noticed in other trailers before. Very subtle effect. It's not really that big a deal, and this is a very simple camera effect. It's very easy to achieve that, but there is a sense of a dirtiness to the camera lens. It's very small details like that as the light becomes more direct towards the viewing camera, which is the viewing perspective of the 3D space. Again, this is a very easy effect to achieve, but it's small details like that that just are icing on the cake. It's a really cool feeling. It helps the environment feel a little more organic. You see that lens dirtiness. Really neat. I like it. These are kind of neat bugs here. Very interesting. A kind of beetle. You see their pincers there. Fascinating. I'd be interested in taking a look at the 3D model for that and see how that lines up in terms of how similar it is to real world insects. Oh, we get a better look at that. That is neat. I really enjoy alien life. I mean, I've never seen alien life in real life, but say, for example, Avatar, the film from James Cameron, I just enjoy seeing the creative alien life that people come up with. Very interesting. I do really like the specular map that is used here. So a specular map is a texture. It is an image file that we use as part of a material for a video game visual asset. And the specular map allows us to do things like define how shiny parts of a model are, and you can add imperfections to the specularity, which gives it a very organic, lived-in feeling. As you see her armor, you see imperfections in the shininess there, as if there's some dirt to it. This would be before Samus obtains her new suit. I really do like the reflections in the suit, but I'm quite certain these are not real-time reflections. This is coming from a reflection map, and that is extremely optimized. It has a very low performance cost. And in terms of performance costs, I don't mean paying money. I mean that your hardware has a limited budget when it comes to rendering, and a reflection map is just a single image that is used to convey a sense of reflections. This is just a single map. It's not being calculated in real time because there isn't really a need for that. You can convey the reflections of the environment using a single map, and again, it has an extremely low rendering cost. If you want to calculate and show real-time reflections, that is significantly more expensive on the rendering. It causes the frame rate to drop. So this is really fantastic showcase of just visually coherent. It's saying a lot with very little. And I had noted in a prior show that I'd done here on YouTube that the lighting here, the shadows, this is not calculated in real time. These are baked, and I still stand by that, but we will see. If I'll take a closer look more, and eventually I will play the game, of course, but I believe that these are baked. Baked shadows are not able to be changed during gameplay. They're not able to be changed during real time, but that means that they are significantly lower rendering cost. So you can maintain a smoother frame rate because the shadows are baked. We also have light shafts here. I have seen that this game does seem to be using volumetric lighting, and volumetric lighting has a pretty high performance cost, but these developers seem to really know what they're doing when it comes to optimizing and getting a game to run well. Something that I'm pretty shocked is seeing just like randos, random soldiers, interacting with Samus. Has this wonderful, fantastic, modern marvel, futuristic marvel of a power suit, and then you have these dudes who are just in their, fodder armor. If I were to sign up for Space Army and I was given one of those fodder armor suits, boy, I would be, well, you'd write your family and let them know that you're not you're not coming home, because if you've got a suit like that, there's no way you're going to make it to the end credits. Something I do like here there is a post-screen effect. We can apply visual effects to the image after the scene has been rendered. We can apply visual effects. This is chromatic aberration. You see a sort of a double image of the character here. And we can adjust these image effects during gameplay, during real time, so we can have it basically have a value slider of 0. You know, the intensity of the effect is 0. And then as we script these cinematic scenes, we can increase that slider, you know, the intensity of the effect, so it has a smooth, gradual intensifying of the image effect. And you can see the chromatic aberration there, which is fascinating because I'm not seeing it here. That's interesting. I think there's more to this visual effect than I first thought. That chromatic aberration effect may actually be part of the shader that is used to render this particle effect. And a shader is just part of the program that tells the game engine how some geometry in the environment should be rendered. We have that chromatic aberration effect here, but then not necessarily over here. I'm wondering if they are able to shift the focal point for that chromatic aberration. It's not something that I've done in my games, but I suppose you certainly can. And it looks like that's what they've done there, to sort of focus on a particular point. Very interesting. I've not seen that before. So that is neat. I didn't notice that. I watched this one time before starting rolling the camera here. I hate waking up on an unknown planet. I mean, you know, comment below if that's relatable to you, but I just, you know, I hate it. Such a lovely scene. And much of this, and I'd pointed out in a previous show on this channel, a lot of this stuff is just low detail density. It's not high poly count stuff. It's not highly super detailed. It's low detail, but you don't see it up close. It's only from a distance. They can have a low poly count, low texture resolution, and it still looks fine. You can see it's obscured by the fog here. I believe this fog is not part of the volumetric lighting, which that, again, it gets quite expensive on the original Switch. Volumetric lighting is very costly, and it has a significantly negative impact on the performance. This looks like it's a particle effect, a particle system, and that means that we can, as developers, we can really control the visuals of a scene by creating a point in the scene where we say, okay, these particles are only going to be generated in this one particular spot. What was that? Is that a frozen motorcycle on the right? There's like a force field energy situation going on there. And okay, that kind of looks like some sort of a snow motorcycle. A snowdercycle. Is that, do we have that? Do we have snowdercycles? This is a snowdercycle. Okay. And I don't know what it is about ice environments. They're genuinely, pretty much always my favorite environments in games. And I'm just going to have to say, on the opposite end of that, lava environments, not my favorite. Get out. You know, Ocarina of Time, constantly taking damage if you don't have the red tunic. I'm melting, I'm burning up here. You know, Star Fox, the terrain's coming up and it's melting my bones. Guys, can we cool it with a lava stages? You know, from one human being to another, cool it with a lava stages. I think that might be why I enjoy Dead Space 3 so much, is it's basically all entirely in a ice level. And I really like ice levels. This is fantastic. This, to me, is what tells me that this game uses full volumetric lighting. Most of the time in games, we can get away by faking volumetric lighting with other rendering techniques because volumetric lighting is quite expensive. This, as you see the fan blades occluding the light, you can see the light shafts are adapting and changing in real time. This is not something that you can fake. What we saw there. You see a haziness come off the light bulb over there. This, you cannot fake that. So this is true volumetric lighting, and I'm impressed if it will look like that on the original Switch and still run well. I will be utterly and absolutely impressed, because volumetric lighting is extremely expensive on the renderer. It causes the frame rate to drop immensely. And we combine that with lens flares on these things, and it gives it this organic, gritty, muddy feel. You know, it feels like this is a world that is lived in, and it is not. This is a collection of ones and zeros, pixels and polygons. This is nothing. This does not exist. But We want people to feel like this could exist. There is delight and joy in the willful suspension of disbelief. And if we can accomplish that as artists, as game developers, writers, filmmakers, you present media to people, and if they take delight in the willful suspension of disbelief, then you've done your job. You've given people something to enjoy and to believe in, even though we know this isn't real, but we want that fulfilling, enjoyable suspension of disbelief. This is such a sleek look. Take a look at that. That is cool armor. My favorite armor is the Metroid Fusion with the blue. Something about that smooth, organic blue over the harsh, angular orange that we are accustomed to, I really enjoy. There's a creepiness to this suit as well. There's these purple sort of teardrop-like shapes that almost look like eyes. They're carried through with visual flow here and here. Oh, this is such a fantastic design. We have the shape of a triangle. You know, this is triangular here, but we offset that by having an inverted triangle in the shape of the alignment of these lights here. Fantastic character design. I really just appreciate this. And it's great seeing Samus with different suits, different color palettes. We just saw Metroid Dread that had a very different color scheme, the white and the light blue and the black, and this is really neat, seeing prominently black with red as a secondary colors. We don't even get to see it that much in the game, which is a real shame. I didn't realize that I would be discussing so many of these small aspects. I'll try and get through this. Great use of the volumetric fog there, you know. Morph Ball always looks fun. There's this fun little robot guys, little robot enemies with the spider legs. Now this, she's wearing her older suit here. We see that this, I suppose she's obtaining her psychic powers here. The jewel seems to go into her, the forehead of her helmet, and we are seeing her powers in usage as she's able to sort of do a magical bullet time situation with her projectiles. That just, can I just say, that looks like real finger danger. This, someone's gonna get a finger caught in there, and it's just gonna be bad news. You see the lightning on the ground? Pro tip, lightning on the ground, don't step on it. One may make the mistake of calling it electricity, but this is video game land. That was lightning on the ground. What in tarnation was that? That was really neat. There's some sort of psychokinetics aerial spine that you can travel on with the Morph Ball. Very neat. We've not seen something like that before. Traverse the planet with the motorcycle. I feel like the motorcycle has seen some visual enhancements over the previous trailer. I think they've just fine-tuned the texture filtering for the materials on the motorcycle so that it looks better at distance and it looks better from harsh oblique angles. In the previous trailer here, right now you can see definition and sharpness to the details. The detail here is not part of the 3D model, it is part of the texture. In the previous trailer that we saw, this would have looked very blurry, and that comes down to the texture filtering. We have a couple different approaches we can use as developers, and there's always a trade-off for what looks good and performance, but it looks like they've adjusted their texture filtering so it just looks better at oblique angles. So great to see that. I'm not sure what else they've improved on this. They probably have intensified the ambient occlusion, which is another texture file that makes areas of a model look darker to receive less light. I think they may have adjusted ambient occlusion so that this white area of the bike looks more interesting when it is under direct light. In the previous trailer, it looked a bit dull. Someone pointed out there doesn't seem to be enough tweening. Tweening is we add frames of animation between one animation to another so that it's a smooth transition, but for some reason the bike just pops up there. There is no tweening frame. The bike is on the ground and then suddenly it's up in the air, and it's not just editing or cutting. I've seen this happen multiple times. Someone mentioned that in one of my previous shows covering this, and it's kind of jarring. I'm not sure why they didn't tween that animation. Everyone's got a motorcycle these days. Everyone's Everyone's got a motorcycle. You gotta hit them crystals, and they give you... I believe they said that the crystals give you energy for adventuring or something. Hey, a bag of Cheetos gives me energy for adventuring, I'll tell you that. No, you gotta watch your diet as you get older. I don't get to have Cheetos that often, so it's like, you know, once a year, once every 2 years, I'll have a bag of Cheetos, and it's a nice delight. So, you gotta... That's not good for you. Cheetos are not good for you. It's just a nice, delightful treat. It's so weird seeing randos be featured prominently. You know, and my favorite... oh, what a great shot. Wow, the cinematography in this is really fantastic. Have a look at this. The lighting lets us know that the focal point are between 2 points, this and here, and we see the scene. My attention is immediately brought here, and the visual flow of that guides us down to look at Samus. Our job as artists is to guide the viewer's focus through a scene. This is really fantastic. This is that might be a little too bright. That's distracting to me a little bit. It doesn't really matter, you know, but if I were composing this as a photograph, I might edit that and then just dim that part. It's pulling my attention away. It's a little distracting if that were just a little darker in that area. This scene, you know, well composed, well lit. It's interesting to see developers take a very cinematic approach in terms of not, you know, like, oh, it's like a movie, but it's you know, a photographing and cinematography is part of the thought process when it comes to composing the scenes here. I like a big gun. I like a big arm weapon. I like shooting. Hey, is that your friend is piloting a mech, I think. Okay, I like that. It looks like the escort mission may not be that obnoxious. If your escortee can have a mech, that's pretty cool. Can you... I know, I have a knee-jerk reaction when I hear the term escort mission. I just want to hit somebody. I say, no, do not weigh me down with an albatross that's just going to go and get killed by enemies, and I have to go back and forth and drag this guy. Enough with the escort missions, all right? Man, that armor is really fantastic. There's a technical term for this. They use this in academics, and it's a scientific term, and you may not have heard of it before. That term is sick as hell. This suit here, it's just this kind of area is sick as hell. I really like the use of different materials that have different specularity to them. There's a matte texture to this, and underneath that is, it kind of looks like, you know, this sort of flexibility. To me, it's conveying a sense of flexibility with some sort of under layer. And it catches the light very differently, and then there's a bit of specularity to it. This is sick as hell. Great shape expression. That's really fantastic. I like a good monster. Monster designing is one of my favorite things to do. It's one of my favorite things to see. I like seeing old creature features, and yeah, that's great. It's a friend piloting a mech. It's a gun. See, here's the thing, though. This gun is boring, but it's cool still, right? You see him, he was kind of using it as a walking stick, which you don't do. Don't use your shotgun or rifle as a walking stick. Despite the fact that what I like about this is there's a juxtaposition between the plainness of it. To them, this is just a boring tool. It's part of the job. And, you know, there isn't this flashiness to it, because by comparison, Samus is way cooler, right? You cannot let these tertiary characters look anywhere near as cool or as powerful, and visual complexity is how we convey a sense of power. But the gun has some sort of transforming aspect to it. It's gotten, you know, modularity into the way it animates, and that's still cool. So I wonder how else they will feature in the story. It's great to see that kind of attention and detail to that. Really, really fantastic. That's me. That character is me going, oh, that suit is sick as hell. That's me. That suit's sick as hell. That's what she's saying. All right. Good thing she can morph ball out of there. Oh, it's the boss from Zelda Breath of the Wild. The boss that comes out of the sand and he just ruins your day. Shoot that core. That's what Grandpappy always told me, is shoot that core. Look for the yellow bits, and if you don't see the yellow bits, look for the purple bits. That's what Grandpa always told me. And so that's how I've lived my life over these past years, is I look for the yellow bits. If there are no yellow bits, look for the purple bits. Shoot them. Shoot them. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you enjoy taking a look at this trailer here. Very neat. This is so neat. Very cool. Oh, a couple more details here. They're just discussing, talking about the Joy-Con. Anyway, I'm going to share a little bit of my game now. I'll discuss that. This is the same update that I shared in the Mario Galaxy movie that I just posted on the channel. So here's my game that I'm working on. Okay. Alright, this is the development workspace for my upcoming monster raising game, Goo Buddies. Please pardon the messiness here. I'm working on formatting some graphics. Here we'll take a look at the Blessed Mask. Sometimes your Goo Buddies can be born with either a Cursed Mask or a Blessed Mask, and this is a power-up transform state that activates when their health gets low during battle. The Blessed Mask boosts their defensive capabilities, while the Cursed Mask that you see over here increases offensive capabilities. You can see the pigmentation of the Goo Buddies also change whether or not they have a Blessed or Cursed Mask. All the Goo Buddies wear their masks a slightly different way, and I have to create some different versions. For example, this guy, I need to create a specialized version for him because his eyes are in a different part of his head. See, like this. It's been a delight creating so many different varied Goo Buddies. Some of them are just wild and outlandish and fun, like the double egg species here. This one will be a challenge to format the masks to fit onto those Goo Buddies, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. Let's go ahead and run the game and we'll take a look at some of the features here. There's a lot going on in terms of the mechanical functionality. This is basically my dream game that I'm creating. You can see that there are different shapes of eggs. To get Goo Buddies, you don't catch them or take them from the wild. You have to grow them from eggs. And you can see that the eggs have different shapes. Now, Goo Buddy eggs don't have any of their own genetic data. They're blank. And they gain genetic data by you exposing the egg to different environments and different things. You can expose the eggs to attacks during battle. It affects their elements, their mutations, their abilities. So the Goo Buddies that hatch are unique to you, and they are born entirely because you've taken this egg on an adventure. Let's go ahead and interact with this one. I have some debugging logic here that will allow me to make them evolve quickly, but in the game you'll be able to use the shake interaction. It kind of lowers your friendship with them, but it does make them evolve pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and give this guy a little pizza here. There you go, buddy. This is the Phantom element. Goo Buddies are not restricted to any one element. A Goo Buddy species can be one of 16 or 15 different elements. This one has a unique mutation called the Polnareff. If we have a look at his stats menu, you can see that he has a fun little hairstyle. As he progresses through his evolutionary stages, he will maintain his mutation. You can see he is the fire element, and he also has little whiskers. So the element of the Goo Buddies changes more than just the color. There are unique physical aspects to the elements as well. So there's a lot of work that goes into creating these Goo Buddies. You can see he's evolved into the next form here, and he maintained his Polnareff mutation. There's a lot of placeholder graphics here as well. Let's just go ahead and open up one of these bounties and see what battles look like very quickly. Okay, you can see I have my team on the left and the enemies of Goo Baddies on the right. Their eyes are cute and adorable for yours, but the Goo Baddies are kind of haunting. You know, I've created a different set of eye mutations for the Goo Baddies just to make it clear that they are not your friends. I have a placeholder special effect here, so right now all of the battle actions use the same slime spray animation, as it will take some time for me to create all of the special effects, the visual effects for those. I have debugging logic here, so all of the attacks will just, all of the combat actions currently will just reduce an enemy's health, just as I work on programming the logic here. So, okay, that's all I have to share today. I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at Goo Buddies. Thanks for listening to my trailer analysis. If you'd like to see any other of the shows that I've put on this channel, I'll put them on screen. Maybe there'll be something funny, or something educational. Take care of yourselves. Be well.